Olivia, IoT, AI and blockchain have been a lot of a hot topic of discussion over the last 2 years. Do you think we are still at the stage of theoretic discussions, or can new technologies really bring additional value to the insurance and reinsurance business?
I think you're right. There's been a lot of discussion about these topics for probably more than 2 years even, and it's sometimes hard to tell what's hype and what's reality. In our team, in SwissRe, the P&C data analytics team, we actually work with clients on exactly these things, and we help them to make the hype into a tangible reality for the business. So I think we're well placed to make that distinction. And I think the answer to your question depends on the technology, to be honest. So of the 3 things you mentioned, I would say that AI actually is something that is very much a reality, and it is really being used for tangible value, and we also help our clients on that. So there are ways in which really operationally that is creating value. IoT possibly to a smaller degree, but there are also examples of where clients really are trying to use this to gather new data and integrate that into how they underwrite business. Blockchain is a much more difficult topic, and I think that's been one where we and many others still really struggle to see the tangible value. And I think there you need really the whole ecosystem. It's not just the decision of one company to make that happen. So on that, I think we're still very much working out the framework. But the other 2, especially on improving the underwriting processes, there are definitely real tangible things that are already happening.
That's great. And you are responsible for analysis of data in a very big organization. That means you have a broad, not only European perspective. In your opinion, do we use new technology for risk management in Europe in an effective way, or can we improve anything in that area, in this area?
So I think when it comes to risk management, Europe has been a leader for quite a long time, and the mindset encouraged by things like Solvency II has only reinforced that. So the thinking behind how to go about risk management is still sort of top-notch in a global context. But where there's definite scope for improvement is the integration of these new technologies and how that can actually further improve that process. So going from just thinking about economic capital modeling in a very static way to actually doing it real time. Because now what this technology allows you to do is really to manage and assess risk, and therefore also allocate capital almost on a real time basis. And there we still have a lot of work to do. Not to say that other regions are more advanced. I think generally the industry still needs to work on that.
And from your point of view, behind USA and China, or the new contrary European market is a leader in using new technology for building big data and analyzing it?
I think it depends, and some of the other regions have certain advantages. If we look at China and Asia, the big advantage that they have there is around distribution and business models. So they are actually much more advanced in terms of how they use data and technology to interact with clients in new ways and to circumvent very old and traditional distribution models. What they're actually not so good at is the pure data analytics component, because actually data quality is a bit of an issue there. So they're advanced in some ways, but certainly in others they are far behind where we are in Europe. In the US, on the other hand, where they are very much the leaders, is precisely the point of data quality, and they also very standard level of data across the country and the availability of public sources, which means that actually you have an excellent base to do some of the analytics work. I think the other thing where the US is leading and where we really should try and close the gap in Europe is how US companies work with startups, insurtechs, how they integrate innovation and also funding for all of these things into their business models. So in Europe it's still very novel to do some of these things, and the funding availability is much more modest than in the US. So if we can also step up on that front, that would bring us closer to our US colleagues.
Thank you very much.
No problem.